For a decade now, WiredWest has been working to make high-speed internet service available in even the smallest communities of Western Massachusetts, where regular internet providers say there are just too few customers to make it worth their while. Now a conflict has arisen with MBI, the Massachusetts Broadband Institute, over who would own the fiber optic network. WiredWest Executive Committee board member Steve Nelson sat down with me to explain.
The disagreement here is simple. The towns are putting up 2/3 of the money for this project. It may really, just with the group of towns that are involved, this may be around 80 million total. They're putting up 2/3 of the money. They feel that they should have a say in how that money is spent and how the towns organize themselves. Now, WiredWest, you're right, we were kind of a grassrootsy, ad hoc. This goes back a long way. People with just informal committees, but
You're very organized now.
Oh, yeah, right. We are what's called a municipal light plant cooperative. And so we're a cooperative. The towns participating in this particular project, 31 towns. The approach that we are all taking is that the towns will put their money into WiredWest. And keep in mind, WiredWest is nothing but the towns. There's nothing else. I'm from a town. I have a senior position at WiredWest, but I'm just a delegate from a town. So all the towns will put our money into WiredWest, and WiredWest will then manage the project on our behalf, it being us and us having the decisions in WiredWest. Again, there's no difference. It's the towns. And that's where the difference of opinion is, because our approach is that the towns put the money into one place and own the network eventually on a shared basis. This is no different than a lot of other cooperatives we're familiar with in Western Mass. I think maybe in Eastern Mass, not so much. We've got, Pioneer Valley Regional Transit Association. We've got the, another example? Hilltown Ambulance. There's 5 towns that have an ambulance service. The town doesn't each own its own ambulance. In Pioneer Valley, they don't each own their own bus. The money is pooled. There's an organization together that operates it. And that's what we're saying we want to do. Work together cooperatively on a shared basis.
Now, MBI was saying, okay, the towns each own their individual part of this. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you folks came back with and said, look, under our plan, WiredWest owns the network, but the towns own WiredWest. What are we talking here? We're talking apples and oranges, right? We're all on the same page, aren't we? And they didn't seem quite sure.
Well, theoretically, are, but it really has an impact on how you build the network. And we believe that building it regionally is the most efficient, most cost-effective, and most sustainable way to do this. So you don't look at town boundaries that were set in 1780. You build a network to serve this area, and then it's owned together. Really, I think what MBI is looking at, or the policy that they put forward, is that each town owns its own piece, and then we have a network somehow. That's a much more awkward way to build a network. And does a town own 4 rooms in the regional school district? As I said before, does it own its own bus and a transit authority? So I think that this is not really an appropriate way to build a network, and it's not what the towns want. What's going on is MBI is in Eastern Mass. They are making certain decisions on our behalf. There's a policy that their board issued last July, which is really at the heart of this, that says that the network must be owned by the quote-unquote respective municipalities. Now, we maintain that...
it will be. It is. Right?
That's what we say. They say, no, that doesn't qualify. The problem is that policy, which determines how the state will spend its money and says how the towns are going to spend their money, was put together with no outside input whatsoever. WiredWest had no input into it, and certainly the public didn't have any input into it. And I think on a policy like that that's so important, that's so critical, that they should have been much more transparent and solicit comments not only from WiredWest, but from town select boards, finance committees, general citizens, and then put together their policy.
If I read what MBI was saying correctly, they also questioned whether WiredWest would be up to running this in an ongoing way. I think they basically said Are you going to be able to maintain the network? You're going to be the internet service provider for all the communities that sign on. That's the idea. MBI said they thought it'd be too costly with the money you expect to have coming in, going to cost more than you'll be bringing in from customer subscriptions. You folks have said we had a major study done. We're on solid financial ground. You don't accept that MBI question.
We do not. We went to, and look, we started out with a financial business plan many months ago, have gone through extensive revisions, have taken a lot of input people, both from town officials and from business and professional people who live in the area. So we made a lot of changes to it. But then we went to a firm called CTC, Columbia Telecommunications Corporation. They've been in the telecom business since 1983. They are probably the leading municipal broadband consultancy in the country. We went to them, said, you review this. They tore our business plan apart. They had the ability, because it's built on a very complex software, to look at that line by line. They came back and said, well, you know, you need a little more money for this, you need a little more money for that. We made changes in response to that. And then ironically, on the same day that MBI issued that statement, their final report was issued, which said that the WiredWest model, financial model, is well designed and a good representation of running this business. So basically, yeah, it works. MBI they have consultants that have a different opinion. And we're going to try and resolve that. But I think that really some of this discussion should have happened prior to dropping this bombshell on December 1st. The other thing that happened on December 1st, this is kind of an amazing day, is there's this operating agreement, which is a legal instrument that all the towns will sign that gives them that ownership, that says you will own this in shares proportional to how much money you put in. We've been through an exhaustive process with this for months, with our lawyer, town lawyers, select boards, our delegates. On that day, we had a conference call with a lawyer who represents 13 of the towns, and we concluded that there are no more major issues in putting this operating agreement together. We have some language to be polished up, and that's in the process of happening. So basically, the agreement the towns will sign is ready to sign. But MBI, I think, at that point, on December 1, later in the day, intervened and said, towns, we recommend you not sign that agreement. So, of course, that backed everybody else off.
It's so important to the economic future of the small towns of Western Massachusetts. It's so important to young people, students, and the work they do, homework they want to do at home, not have to be at the library, not have to be at school on the network. With all the work that's gone into this, and I don't want to scare people, but very, very plainly, could all the work you've done, could the whole WiredWest dream fall apart at this point, or are you confident things will work out?
We're going to make it work out, but we're really stuck on this issue of who determines how the town's money is spent. They're putting up 2/3. They ought to have the right to say, this is how we want our money spent.
Steve Nelson from WiredWest, thanks for the update.